I found something pretty interesting today. It's this little game on my iPhone. It's called Factitious. And it's basically made to see if you can tell what's fake news and what's not. So I'm obviously skeptical of this because anywhere that claims to be able to, help you find what fake news is seems to miss the point. And this is no different, mind you. So I've played it a couple times, and all I can say is that the places that they think are reliable are not reliable. I have proof of it, which you guys will see soon. It seems like they really miss the point of the game. And I say that because it doesn't help you identify what's fake news. All it does is back up the belief that if it's mainstream media, it's real. If it's anything else, it's fake. So something else that I noticed is they don't list conservative outlets. Like, they don't list more well-known conservative outlets because they don't want people checking out those outlets. Now, keep in mind, the point of this game is not to help you determine what's fake news and what's not. It doesn't help you once you close out this app. All it's designed to do is get you to think that mainstream media is real. That's it. That's the whole point of this game, and I'm about to prove it to you, okay? So I played this game a couple times, and I think I figured it out. It's basically, if it's not mainstream media, chances are it's fake. If it's not a place that mainstream media gets their news, it's fake. So what we're going to do is play this game live, unedited. I'm going to go right through it and show you guys how you can beat this game, because it's very easy. So right there, we're just going to click quick start, and first story, Weasel apparently shuts down world's most powerful particle collider. Scroll to the bottom. See, it says show source there. You don't have to even read the headline like I just did. You don't have to read the story. You don't have to know if the story is real or not. You just go to the bottom, it says show source, click on that. NPR. Okay, now, I know that they think NPR is real, so or I should say reliable. So let's go there. Correct, it's real. It's a radio and news site that does fact-based reporting. Fact-based reporting. No. At the end of this, because I want to keep it unedited, I'll show you guys why these news sites that they call reliable are not reliable. So let's continue here. Okay, we'll just hit continue. Next one. Man discovers. Okay, again, you don't even have to read that. Go to show source. There we go. Alabama Observer. Never heard of that in my life. We're going to call that fake news. And yep. Okay, that's yay. Doesn't really matter because the purpose of this is not what they think is fake news. It's what they think is real news. Scroll to the bottom. Show source. Time.com. You know they think this is a reliable site. Okay, Time.com, got that correct. It's the website of a long-established news magazine, upholds journalistic fact-checking standards. Again, I'll show you guys at the end of this because I want to keep it unedited. We'll continue here. Entire internet will be saved in Canada. Keep it from Donald Trump. Show source, The Independent. Safely stored across the Atlantic. I like how they throw in that little jab, like you're not safe if you're here for some reason, because across the Atlantic doesn't have rapes and murders by Islamic immigration or anything. So just, believe what mainstream media tells you, where it's all this safe paradise over across the Atlantic or in Canada. It's just so great, right? Okay, so The Independent, they think it's real. Let's call that news. British newspaper. It's more on the reliable side. I know The Independent for a fact is not reliable. And again, I'll show you guys at the end of this, because this is actually great. I'm glad that this run is happening because there's a lot of things in here. I think 3 of the 4 they've considered to be real. Okay, because it's mainstream media. So let's hit continue here. Python gets stuck in her earlobe. Show the source. Fox 59, a Fox station in Indianapolis. I get people think Fox is on the right. I get that they think that. It tends to be more conservative in terms of mainstream media. But you know what? It's still mainstream media. Correct. So they don't speak to the credibility of Fox. They literally just say that this story can be verified with a quick search. So that doesn't help you. That doesn't help you because unless you know if that story is real or not, it speaks. I mean, you end this game and that's it. That's all you know is that that story is real. And truthfully, I barely read that headline. I don't even remember what the story was because I just went to show source. It was mainstream media. You know they think it's reliable because they push that agenda. So let's continue. Oh, actually, round one complete. I'm not going to do more rounds just for sake of time. Got it right 100%. So what does that show you? The game is easy. When you figure it out, it's easy. Okay? If it's some ridiculous, off-the-wall place you've never heard of, it's fake. Okay? It's fake. And if you have heard of it, or you know for a fact it's a mainstream media outlet like Fox, it's real. And now I'm going to go through, I'm going to show you why the Independent, Time, all the places that they said were real and like really reliable, I'm going to show you why they're not. Now, a little side note, I actually found this game because I was digging into NPR. Turns out that when colleges, there are certain colleges where they get given a certain frequency range and a certain wattage limit. NPR is just kind of taking over these radio stations meant for college students, meant to be run by college students. They're just taking them over, and I mean, they don't call it national propaganda radio for no reason. And I put into Google, which is another branch of the Democratic Party, I put in NPR fake news just to see what would come up. The first entire page is just NPR slamming fake news, just dishing that label out like they own it. Okay? I found this game thinking like it was developed by NPR or something or in coordination with them, and it wasn't. It was just talked about by NPR. I mean, we saw it with the Project Veritas, with the New York Times, we've seen it with CNN. It's bad, okay? It's bad, and I'm going to explain to you why. Because we live in a republic. This is not a democracy, this is a republic, okay? And I say that it's a constitutional republic. It's not a pure democracy. When you have a pure democracy, that's a lot worse because when you have mainstream media lying to people, you can convince the majority to oppress the minority. And you can vote to just have, or you can get people to vote to just steal. When you have a constitutional republic, the ramifications of fake news are less, but still not that great. Okay? Constitutional republic, every individual living under that constitution has their rights secured by that constitution. And in America, those rights are given to us by an unmovable mover, a creator. It's not given to you by the government. Whereas in other countries, they can just change the Constitution as they please. So it's different in America than even in other countries. Now in America, the problem is that because they can't change the actual Constitution, it really just creates a divide. The mainstream media takes people who believe in the Constitution and people who don't believe in the Constitution or think that you can interpret the Constitution really how you're not supposed to be able to, and that goes back to the Supreme Court's monopoly on the Constitution. That's probably for an entire other video. But what it does is it creates radicals. It creates radicals with no outlet really for their anger other than to express it in the form of violence. And that's because you can't go and just vote to impeach the current president. You can't vote to just institute socialism. You can't vote to just institute communism. So then they lash out. And that's what we're seeing. Mainstream media is the reason that we have Antifa. Mainstream media and George Soros are the reason we have Antifa. They're the reason we have Black Lives Matter made on the hands up, don't shoot lie. Mainstream media is dangerous for the public. It's dangerous because it's blue pilling people. It's getting people to stop seeing reality and start to see their little, like, the beautiful reality that they want to present to you, so that you stop worrying. You just, calm down. It's going to be all right. Big Daddy government's going to take care of you, okay? That's why mainstream media lies. That's why they push fake news. They try to own the term fake news so that they can dish it out to the places that are actually legitimate sources. Mainstream media is incredibly dangerous. It's having a volatile effect on civilization. It's having a volatile effect on the younger generations. And it's really breaking down the fabric of what made America great. Okay? America was great. America still is pretty great. Okay? To think that that it's not, or that it wasn't, shows a complete lack of understanding of history, the Constitution, or what's going on in modern times. Stop just thinking that everything that CNN tells you is real. You got to fact check this stuff, okay? You have to fact check everything. If there's something that sounds like, it just falls in line with the party agenda just conveniently, fact check it. Make sure it's real, and do it on two or three, make sure it's real from 2 or 3 different sources. Don't go to one source, because if you see it on CNN and then you're like, oh, I'm going to go to Snopes. Let's see if they back up what they said. Yeah, of course they're going to, because Snopes is another wing of the Democratic Party funded by George Soros. They're everywhere. You have to know how to get reliable news. You have to know how to determine fact from fiction. Okay? And this game does not help. It does not. So if you want to play the game and think that you're actually learning something, great, do that. But you're not helping yourself. You're not helping anyone, except for the elites, except for the globalists, except for the big banks.